गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा रस बिहारी राधा रस बिहारी राधे जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणावृंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्री श्री राधा रस बिहारी भगवान की श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की श्री श्री गौर निताय की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 46, chapter entitled Uddhava Visits Vrindavan, text 28. Yashoda Varnamanani Putrasya Charitani Cha Shrinvanti Ashruni Avashrakshit Sneha Snuta Payodhara Yashoda Varnyamanani Putrasya Charitani Cha Shrinvanti Ashruni Avashrakshit Sneha Snuta Payodhara Yashoda Varnyamanani Putrasya Charitani Cha Shrinvanti Ashruni Avashrakshit Sneha Snuta Payodhara. पढ़िए. Mataji's word to word meaning. Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, Varnyamanani, being described, Putrasya, of her son, Charitani, the activities, Cha, and Shrinvanti, as she heard, Ashruni, tears, Avasrakshe, poured down, Sneha, out of love, Snuta, moistened, Payodhara, her breast. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As Mother Yashoda heard the descriptions of her son's activities, she poured out her tears and milk flowed from her breast out of love. Purport. From the very day that Krishna had left for Mathura, Mother Yashoda, though counseled and consoled by hundreds of men and women, could see nothing but the face of her son. She kept her eyes closed to everyone else and cried constantly. Thus she could not recognize Uddhava, treat him with parental affection, ask him any questions, or give him any message for her son. She was simply overwhelmed with love for Krishna. Please repeat the translation. As Mother Yashoda heard the descriptions of her son's activities, she poured out her tears and milk flowed from her breast out of love. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamala Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsya Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavad Ashata Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Shakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna. So today we'll be discussing from text 20th to text 28th, 9 verses. So what we'll do, we'll read the translation of every verse and then discuss and proceed further. So text 20, translation. Actually open first 19. So some 19 translation. So here, Uddhava visits Vrindavan, and Krishna, in the earlier verses we read, Krishna very affectionately he holds the hand of Uddhava, saying that please go to Vrindavan and give some happiness to my parents, to the gopis, to the gopas, how they have surrendered everything. I can't go, so you go as a messenger. Our Acharyas explained that it was for Uddhava's benefit, not for Brajabasi's benefit. Rather, after visiting Uddhava, what he realized, the power of bhakti, but the aggravation, which intensity of separation for gopis, it only increased. It didn't give any solace or pacification. That is what Krishna Prema is. It has to only increase. So here, he comes in the evening and visits Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda. It is said that after Krishna left, which we read in today's verse, Mother Yashoda did not do anything, no work. There was no fire in their kitchen. She never cooked after that. Only now she'll try, but when Uddhav comes, but she is not able to. As it's mentioned, hundreds and thousands of women actually came and consoled, but Mother Yashoda, nothing changed. She just wants her son. She only wants Krishna. So here, yesterday what we saw, before that, Nanda Baba is asking, will Govinda return even once to see his family? If he ever does, we may then glance upon his beautiful face with its beautiful eyes, nose and smile. So, he is saying, forget about staying permanently, will he even once come and see? The most astonishing thing what today's world people may understand, Krishna is in Mathura, which is, Vrindavan to Mathura is 15 kilometers. And they are in Gokul. Or maybe it said Nanda Gokul, but whatever, even Nandagram say 20 kilometers, say 25 kilometers. Why Krishna never came? Why, even if Krishna is not coming, Brajvasis are not going there to see Krishna. In today's world, we may say, traveling 25-30 kilometers just a matter of 1 hour. 5,000 years ago, definitely there was no traffic. Even if you walk just few hours, they did not go. So now, even what is their situation? So in text 20th, so in maybe Uddhava is asking, Acharya Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, when Nanda Baba is saying, at least let him come once. So Uddhava may be asking that, why are you talking like this, Nanda Baba? He will come soon and he will stay permanently, as he has promised. Why only once? So then Nanda Baba says in text 20th, that how earlier we were saved from forest fire, the wind, the rain, the bull. So who was, the forest fire was there. Wind means Trinavarat, rain, Govardhan, Giriraj pastime, the bull, Arishtasur, the serpent, 2 serpents, Aghasur and Kalya. The serpent demons, from all such insurmountable, deadly dangers, by that very great soul Krishna. So Nanda Baba understood that, Krishna is not ordinary personality. As Gargacharya has explained. So, what is he trying to say? That Krishna, he killed so many demons. But now who will kill this demon of separation, which is more painful than all demons put together? That's very easy to talk, but it's almost impossible to even comprehend what is separation from Krishna. As we are living in this material world, we can little bit glimpse, if we want to just see, sometime when we lose our dear ones, whom we have a lot of affection, or we lose something which is very dear to us, some object, or as our students are sitting, then the result is not up to the mark. The pain which we feel, it's very insignificant in terms of what Nanda Maharaj is feeling. But just to understand that what is that pain in the heart of separation, what Nanda Baba is feeling. So then he says, who will kill that? Who will kill the demon of separation? Then the next text he says, as we remember the wonderful deeds Krishna performed, his playful sidelong glances, his smiles, his words, oh Uddhava, we forget all our material engagements. That means, what is the situation of Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda? That they are not able to do anything and just simply thinking and remembering Krishna and weeping. There is no other thing they are doing. So that is the situation. If and this situation will come when we have a lot of longing for bhakti. Then this situation, not exactly like this, we cannot come to the level of Nanda Baba, but what is separation? What a pure devotee feels separation. So Srila Prabhupada says, it's not only the activity. We are chanting, we are reading, we are hearing. It's not just the activity which will help us to progress in bhakti. That will be Sukriti. Ram Rupa was saying on that day. Just Sukriti. If we want to advance in bhakti on a faster pace, then we need to engage our mind in the process of bhakti. If we are chanting, and we all have experience when we are chanting, somehow we struggle to keep ourselves awake. Even if we are successful in keeping ourselves awake, our mind is not there. So first is to keep ourselves awake, then to engage mind. That is attentive. Prabhupada speaks in one lecture, what is attentive chanting? Prabhupada says when your mind is engaged, mind and the holy name are interlocked, intertwined, Prabhupada says, or interlinked, that he says. Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Gaurnitai ki. So when the mind is interlinked with holy name, that is attentive chanting. So when we try chanting, we are not able to focus on chanting because mind is wandering in different directions. And that is why it takes a lot of effort. What Krishna says, yato yato nischalati, that you bring back this mind which is wandering from whenever and whenever. So we have to bring the mind into picture. If mind is engaged in hearing, like right now we are hearing Bhagavatam, maybe our body is engaged, maybe our ears are engaged. But if the mind is not there, then hearing will not give the complete benefit. So any activity, mind has to come into picture, because that is where the consciousness will change. Otherwise, just sitting, the advancement will be there because we are sitting in Srimad Bhagavatam class or chanting holy name or reading Prabhupada's books, but it will go away. His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj, he explained what is this meaning that you have to bring the mind when we are hearing or reading. He said we have to visualize whatever is happening now. Now Nanda Baba is talking, Uddha is sitting, we have to visualize. And then that entire flow of events will get settled and the words will set into our consciousness. And once, see, remembrance becomes easy. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Smaran is not a problem. Many a times sadhakas have problem and difficulty saying that we are not able to remember. We read Bhagavatam, we are not able to remember Bhagavatam. What we read last week, I am not able to recollect. So remembering is not difficult. But why still we are facing problem? Because Shravan has not happened. If like when we are in school or in college, sitting and teacher is teaching. Whatever teacher is teaching, whatever he teaches, we don't pay attention. If the knowledge has not gone inside, where is the question of remembering? Krishna explains this concept in Bhagavad Gita 2.66. Nasti buddhire yuktasya na cha yuktasya bhavana na cha bhavayatah shantir ashantasya kuto sukham. The mind will become peaceful when mind becomes stable, and there is how the mind can become stable when we will be able to receive the transcendental knowledge. We all are sitting here because the floor in this temple hall is stable. So we are sitting peaceful. If while hearing and while reading, if my mind is not stable, so that means whatever I am reading, whatever I am hearing, it's not getting registered in my consciousness. And then there is no question of remembrance. How come so many materialistic things, sometimes we chant, and whatever has happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it just comes. There is a remembrance. Because those incidents have registered deeply. So whatever has gone deeper, the smaran or the remembrance will be easier. So remembrance actually is not a problem. It has to register first. So if Shravanam is of quality, then automatically remembrance will happen. That's why Prabhupada says, even though out of any of these Navadaha Bhakti, even if you practice one and perfect it, you will go back to Godhead. But then again and again he says Shravanam. Because without Shravanam, nothing will happen. Srila Prabhupada says, if you will not hear Srimad Bhagavatam, then this Vigraha will be like Galagraha. Will feel like Galagraha, this burden. Any part of devotional service, any aspect of devotional service, be it book distribution, be it Harinam, be it deity worship, be it, serving devotees, prasadam serving, or even honoring prasadam. If the Shravan is not proper, rest everything, our consciousness will not be proper. You try it. When we read Prabhupada books, so 1 hour, 2 hours, that's what Srila Prabhupada says, my devotees should read 2-3 hours every day books. In some places he says 2-3 hours, some places he says 1 hour at least. So when we read, if we have read and all those words have registered, we are not reading to remember, we are reading to serve. Serve Srimad Bhagavatam, serve Srila Prabhupada. His instructions are there to read. We are not reading to remember or memorize. We are reading to relish. So once we read properly, what happens after that? The activities which we perform after that reading or after a proper hearing, you will see that the problems will be lesser in life. Even the problems will be there, but we will not be feeling that. It's like our body is vaccinated, so COVID will not affect. But the immunity is stronger, then COVID cannot affect. We cannot stop the virus from entering the body. We can only increase our immunity so that even if virus enters, cannot do anything. So what is that? That is Shravanam. If Shravanam increases in terms of quality, then all other activities, so many problems will be there. Till the time we exist in material world, the problems will be there. The material world is Dukkhalaya. Cannot change it. Someone says that I want to remove my problem, that's why I have come to Bhakti. That's an illusion. We have to leave. Prabhupada says the problem is because we are in material world. That's the foundation, that's the root cause of all the problems. We leave material world, we go to spiritual world, no problems. A small baby, 3 months old, you take that baby to doctor to put injection. That baby will cry because the skin is very soft, very tender. And second thing, he does not have knowledge that this injection is for my benefit. But our devotee is sitting here 22 years old, the body is tough. And we have knowledge that this injection is for our benefit. So same injection, but we have grown. That's why the effect is less. So when we grow spiritually, when we become mature, the problems will not have so much effect on our consciousness. Problems will be there. They are there. Problems will not leave this world. We have to leave this world. Problems are, Krishna has perfectly designed this imperfect world. This world is imperfect, which is perfectly designed by Krishna. So this will always remain imperfect. So what can help us is Shravanam. Prabhupada says that 3 situations, Jagriti, Swapna, Shushupti. In all the 3 situations, how do we come out? Even if we are awake, someone calls, then we hear. Even if we are dreaming, someone calls, we hear. Even if we are in deep slumber, someone calls, we hear. And wake up. So Shravanam, but Shravanam, quality or submissive hearing. Submissive hearing means we hear so many times. What is submissive hearing? Submissive hearing is explained is that first of all I must have faith. Who's speaking? If I am reading books, do I have faith on Krishna? Do I have faith on Prabhupada? If I am hearing lecture of certain speaker, do I have faith on that person? If that submission is not there, and we are just sitting as a formality or in a grudge or in a rebellious attitude, that will not help. Nothing will enter. Faith on the person who is speaking, that is the first thing in submissive hearing. The next part comes is, why am I hearing? It's a part of submissive hearing. Why am I hearing? I am hearing so that I want to transform myself. So whatever is being spoken is for my benefit. With that faith, faith on the speaker, faith on the content, with that intention if I hear, I want to transform, that is why I am hearing, definitely there will be something which I can apply, that is submissive. Otherwise, we have heard so many years, we have read so many years, why the things have not changed in our life? Chanting from years, whether 2 years, 5 years, if one holy name is so powerful, why is that chanting from years, we have not grown? That is the question we should ask. We are eating prasadam. We are associating with devotees. We are hearing lectures. We are hearing kirtans, bhajans. We are reading books. We are serving devotees. We are serving the mission. We are distributing books. We are preaching. Why the consciousness is not changing? Submission. Internally that rebellious attitude is still there. So this starts with submissive hearing. So, because it came, something related to remembrance. So the foundation is hearing. So Nanda Baba, and he's talking about both of them, Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda, they are remembering so much because activities of Krishna has so deeply registered in their consciousness that they can't do anything. They're helpless. Sometimes we have this experience for some materialistic things, be it exam, be it someone, a dear one, where we are helplessly remembering that. We can't stop. So they are helpless in remembering Krishna. Such a great fortune. Then in the 72nd verse, he says, when we see the places where Mukunda enjoyed his sporting pastimes, the rivers, hills and forests, he decorated with his feet, our mind becomes totally absorbed in him. So, Shri Uddhav may be saying that, you are sitting at home. When someone is going towards little depression, what do we say? Go out, socialize, meet with people, go to different places. And the dullness which has overpowered you will go away. So maybe Uddhava is saying that you are sitting in home, remembering only Krishna, go out. You are a king. Do something. So he says, what can I do? If I go out, then I see the hills, I see the river, I see the forest, and all different places where Krishna has performed pastime. So even if I go out, I remember him more. Which pains more? The pain increases. They think I can't even go out. Yeah, sometimes you see if someone dies and they're very close ones, husband or wife. If wife has died, then husband very affectionate. So he just sometimes he's not able to do anything. Or husband died, wives were not able to do anything. Then what do we say? Go and engage, do some activities. So they think even if we go out in Vrindavan, it only increases. The pain only increases. Then next verse he says, in my opinion, Krishna and Balram must be two exalted demigods who have come to this planet to fulfill some great mission of demigods. Such was foretold by Garg Rishi. That Nand Baba knew. He had some idea that they are not ordinary personalities. Even after Govardhan Leela, there is a chapter called Wonderful Krishna. In that, Nanda Baba and other, the cowherd men, they are discussing. Krishna is not ordinary person. So this is what he is thinking. Maybe he is some great person who has just come. So what can be done? But still after understanding that maybe he is demigod, maybe he is sent by demigod, even with so much of Aishwarya, Nanda Baba is not able to remove that Madhurya from his consciousness. The Madhurya is so deep for Brajavasis that even he knows, he is saying Krishna and Balram may be very extraordinary personalities, great demigods, but he is not able to give it up that he is my son. Whoever he may be great, but he is my son. That affection is not going. And for us, that affection is not coming. We intensely pray to only Krishna when there is serious trouble in our life. Otherwise, intensity doesn't come. Our prayers does not come from the heart. Even we may stand in front of Rasbihari or Gaurnitai and chant many verses, but the prayers are not coming from the heart until unless there is pain. Because there is pain, there is misery, there is suffering, then we become more dependent. So we should be thankful to Krishna when we suffer because he makes us more dependent. So someone asked me that, what happens when you cultivate someone to become a devotee? That person becomes devotee, he grows and then he leaves. So then I said we become more dependent on Krishna. So that also is good. Cultivating someone, making someone devotee, there is some element of ahankar, false ego, that I have made him a devotee. But then when person is not able to sustain in bhakti or not able to be with you, then you depend on Krishna, that ultimately is Krishna who is the doer. At least theoretically that understanding comes. So, when Kunti Maharani says that one who's done with this material world, he can take shelter of you. So we still have lot of business in material world. That's why we are not able to take shelter. So until unless we are done with it, when we can say we are done with material world? Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita 9.12. Moga sha moga karmano moga jnana vichetasa. Moga means baffled. When all our activities, all our knowledge, all our asha, all our desires, all our hopes will be baffled by material energy, then we can say we are done. Then we will come to Krishna. So time and again it is happening. We have to take that as a signal of Krishna. How many things we try to do? You see Prabhupada Leelamrit, we read Prabhupada Leelamrit. So many times situations happen that Prabhupada wants something, it's not happening. And Prabhupada does not have any karma, he is a pure devotee. Krishna is teaching through him. Krishna is teaching through Pandavas. Why Pandavas has to undergo suffering? No karma? Huh? He is teaching. That see, my devotees don't get affected. So that is for us. Because we have a lot of hopes still in material world. Just think for a moment, if you are about to die in next 7 minutes, not 7 days, 7 minutes. Just think, what do you want to do? So many material things will come in the mind. How many of us can think, 7 minutes, let me complete one round of chanting. So many things in my locker, I have kept some Mahaprasadam, ants will eat, let me at least distribute or eat. Hanuman Prabhu is happy. He always has Mahaprasad. So we have so many things you should remember. You should see what kind of dreams we get in the night or sometime in the day or while chanting. That's our consciousness. So we have to change it. Are we dreaming about Krishna? If you are dreaming about Krishna, very nice. Continue that. If we are not, we need to change our consciousness. Time is running and we are, crawling. Time is running and we are crawling. So there's a huge difference. All engineers, no? You see the difference? Time is running in GP and we are crawling in AP. ऐसे है ना? So we have to catch up fast. Fast means not Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna will be scared. What? Is he calling me or is he pushing me away? Showing me away. Jao. Running fast means quality. Quantity in Kali Yuga, no hope. What quantity of bhakti we will be able to do? How much time we have? Quality. Quantity 16 round we are doing. If you can increase, that's good, but at least work on quality here. So Burijan Prabhu's seminar is there today. So I attended in 2007. 3 times I have attended his seminar. I don't want to say what he says because when you hear directly from him, even if out of 16 rounds which we chant 1728 holy names, if we hear even one mantra, that will make us advance in bhakti. That one mantra will help us hear another mantra. So see our situation, we are not able to even properly hear one mantra. That is why that seminar is very important. Because we are rushing. We want to complete 16 rounds. Chanting finish, Bhagavad Gita finish, Bhagavatam finish, class finish, Prasad finish. Only I am alive, everything else finish. We are rushing because of Rajogun. This world is prominently in mode of passion. And passion means what? Ahankara, doership. That the main quality of passion is doership. I want to do, I want to chant, I want to read, I want to hear, I want to serve. So that does not allow us to serve. How many times we come whether for Mangalarti, Darshanarti in front of the Lordships, and think that it is my Guru's mercy, it is Prabhupada's mercy, I am standing in front of you, my Lord. Otherwise, who am I? We think, let me see the Lord. Even after understanding so many times, we cannot see the Lord. Lord will see us. We are coming here so that Lord can see. What will Lord see? How neat my tilak is. How nicely I have worn the clothes. Lord will see how beautifully He has decorated His heart with Krishna consciousness. He wants to see that. So my heart has to be beautifully decorated, my consciousness has to be decorated. Krishna wants to see that. And that is what every day we come to show. And another thing is, our acharyas have sung out of their humility. We should pray. Look at my heart, my Lord. There is nothing except darkness. There is nothing except darkness. So please do something. That is our situation. At least we can try. So how many times we come in front of the deities and we are in the mood of beggar. Because of that prominence of mode of passion, we cannot come to the consciousness of a beggar. So that's why Prabhupada says, here. In Bhagavad Gita 17.2, Srila Prabhupada said, by hearing from a pure devotee, we will come from ignorance to goodness and from passion to goodness. Again, Shravanam. Once we come to goodness, see, you cannot exhibit the qualities of goodness when you are in mode of passion or mode of ignorance. So mode of ignorance will exhibit the qualities of ignorance, which is there in Bhagavad Gita. When we are in mode of passion, it will exhibit the quality of mode of passion. When we are in mode of goodness, forcefully it will exhibit the qualities. We will behave in a way that we are in goodness. And when we reach pure goodness, we will be forced to behave. We will be forced to behave in goodness, pure goodness. So we don't have to change the qualities. We have to change the modes. It's like you have this air condition, then you have remote. So there are different modes. So one is only fan mode, one is dry cooling, one is normal cooling. So if you are on fan mode, you cannot expect the room to become cool. And if you are on the cool mode, you cannot expect that warmth or that normal temperature. You have to change the mode. So we have to change the mode from ignorance to passion, from passion to goodness. Minimum goodness. And Prabhupada explains in his purport in 17.2 Bhagavad Gita, that's only possible by hearing. Again, hearing means quality hearing. So then in which one we read? Okay, 24. After all, Krishna and Balram killed Kamsa, who was as strong as 10,000 elephants, as well as wrestlers, Chanura and Mustika, and the elephant Kovalyapud. They killed them all sportingly, as easy as lion disposes of small animals. Purport. Here Nanda Maharaj, Nanda means to say, not only did Garg Muni declare that these boys are divine, but just see what they have done. Everyone is talking about it. 25th. With the ease of a royal elephant breaking a stick, Krishna broke a powerful giant bow, 3 talas long. He also held a mountain aloft for 7 days with just one hand. Purport. According to Acharya Vishwanath, a tala, palm trees, measure about 60 hastas or 90 feet. Thus the great bow Krishna broke was 270 feet long. Tala tree is 90 feet. Our tala trees are not 90 feet. They go up to 5th floor maximum. So how long was the bow? 270 feet. So he's talking about Aishwarya. but he is not able to give up Madhurya. Why? Just now we explained. Because the mode is different. Nanda Baba's mode is Vatsalya, is Madhurya, and there is no Aishwarya. So even if he talks about Aishwarya, even if he hears Aishwarya about Krishna, he will not be able to connect. Like you have a phone, then you have a charger. So sometime you have this Samsung pen, sometime you have UCB-C. है ना? You cannot plug different charger to different phone. It has to match. So why Nanda Baba, even though he is talking about Aishwarya, he has seen Aishwarya, he is not able to connect with Krishna in Aishwarya because the mode is not active. The mode of Madhurya is active. That affection, that parental affection or attachment is active. So they cannot, helpless. So that is why in Bhagavad Gita 3.5, Krishna speaks, in the translation Prabhupada writes, that we are helpless to act in the mode we have acquired from material nature. So let us become we are helpless. So let us become helpless in mode of goodness. That we can do. If we come to mode of goodness prominently, and Prabhupada says, how can we come? One is hearing, another place he says, today morning only I was hearing lecture, he says, first canto, 5th chapter, Narada Muni instructing Vyasadeva. He says, by following the principles of bhakti, this mode of tamogun and rajogun will not touch us. Tada rajas tama bhava will not touch us. Cannot do anything to us if we follow the principles. If you are following what is given by a spiritual master, if you are following what is given by acharyas, the problem is we use our own intelligence, we use our own mind. We have come to ISKCON to follow. But unfortunately, this mode of passion does not allow us to follow. It forces us to use our own contaminated intelligence rather than following. Just by following what Srila Prabhupada received. Who at the age of 70 will start something like ISKCON? And now you go anywhere and everywhere. Wherever there is ISKCON, there is Bhaktivedanta Swami Marg. Prabhupada is there right in front of deities in every temple. That's what Krishna is giving him. Everywhere Bhaktivedanta Swami Marg. So Krishna is glorifying Prabhupada. Prabhupada did for 11 years and Krishna will do for unlimited time. Why? Because Prabhupada followed what his spiritual master said, even though it was completely impractical. Because we think that, oh Prabhu, it's not practical. Because we think from our own contaminated intelligence. So that's why it's not practical. And Prabhupada has to sacrifice everything he has. Krishna took away everything. What was with Prabhupada? Intense, very strong faith in the words of a spiritual master. That's all. Prabhupada said, that's what I have. And see what happens. So anyone who has surrendered has received. And we see Prabhupada's disciples just by surrender. But because it's very difficult, the most difficult thing in the world is to surrender. To give up our own intelligence or contaminated intelligence. Then he says, 26th here in Vrindavan, Krishna and Balram easily destroyed the demons like Pralamba, Dhenuka, Arishta, Trinavrata and Baka, who had themselves defeated both the demigods and demons. 27th. Shukadeva Swami said, thus intensely remembering Krishna again and again, Nanda Maharaj in his mind completely attached to the Lord, felt extreme anxiety and felt silent, overcome by the strength of his love. Helpless. Except Krishna, Everyone is helpless. Even Krishna is helpless. How Krishna is helpless? He cannot harm anyone. He cannot keep himself away from his devotees. He is helpless by love of his devotees, bound by love of his devotees. Aham bhakta paradhinam. So devotees are also helpless. So rather than being helpless under Maya, let us try to be helpless under Krishna. Helplessness has to be there. Rather, that's a very good asset. And 28th, then he looks to Mother Yashoda. So at least Nanda Baba somehow, controlled his emotions, and he's addressing and he's talking to Uddhava. Mother Yashoda is not able to do anything. She cannot even recognize who's Uddhava. It says, no. As Mother Yashoda heard the description of her son's activity, she poured out her tears and milk flowed from her breast out of love. She cannot do anything. In the purport it is said. Thus she could not recognize Uddhava, treat him with parental affection, ask him any questions or give him any message for her son. She was simply overwhelmed with the love of Krishna, for Krishna. Look at her situation. Incomprehensible for us. She's just crying. She only gets up and starts cooking when Balaram will come. Here also she will not be able to do. When Balaram will come later, then she will cook something. But Krishna and Balaram are not different. Kitchen will be cleaned and cooking will happen. Such kind of helplessness is so intense. Like we become helpless when we are chanting to remain awake. So helpless we will always be. Everyone in the creation is helpless. So let us focus more and more on hearing. And Srila Prabhupada says everything will come. We just hear. Surrender will come. Why I am not able to surrender? Because I have attachment. Why I am attached? Because mode of passion. So when I hear or read, then I will transfer myself to mode of goodness. Then the attachment will reduce. Then I will be able to give up that object. Otherwise, you can see there is a diorama. 3 personalities and 4 personalities. 3 Yamadutas, 4 Vishnudutas. Now what is the situation of Ajamal? They will pull. They will do their task. So someone may say, no, Prabhuji, but we are devotees. Yamadutas will not come. Okay. Devadutas will come, but they will pull you away. And everything in material will remain like this. So if we transfer ourselves to mode of goodness, it will be easier for us to give. It's such a powerful illusion. The illusion is so powerful that even a mendicant sannyasi who has given up everything, he may get attached. And we hear the story of Bhartahari. They gave up everything. He was a king, he gave up everything, but he got attached to one nail. So attachment is there. So how that attachment will go? We are trying very hard to become detached. It will not work like that. You have to change the mode. More hearing, more reading. Attentive hearing, attentive reading, attentive chanting. Then that mode will change. We'll come to goodness, and automatically, that detachment will happen. It's like sometimes we have to put the bandage. So if you put the bandage somewhere here, it's still easy. But if you have here, where hair are there, and you peel it off, skin will come out. That's attached. So then what do? We either pour some water or apply some oil. Then gradually it will come out without pain. So this we have to do, and this is only possible by hearing. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comment or question?
I have a question, like sometime in devotee, by grace of Krishna and Srila Prabhupada and his Guru, speak sometime in Krishna consciousness. Another like then he again back to mind consciousness. But still when he get a chance to be in Krishna consciousness, kirtan, some activities, but again that three modes need material nature captured. So because of mercy, we getting I'm getting consciousness, but again, again go to mind. So it's more like difficult. It's very difficult because I'm getting chance and not utilizing that chance. Nice. How to understand?
So first of all, it's not again. The word again will be used when you come out of three modes and then again come back to three modes. We are always in three modes. Even while practicing bhakti, we are still in three modes. Once you go to pure goodness, you don't come back. Yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam. If you reach that consciousness, there is no coming back. So right now we are in mode of good. We are in three modes. We have to remember that. And three modes are changing daily. Only by following the instructions, we can sustain for longer time in mode of goodness. The more you follow instructions, the more you are in mode of goodness. See the qualities of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. See the qualities of Brahmana, 9 qualities. Because he is in goodness. Shamo, Damo, Tapo, Shaucham. Shamo and Damo, very important. To follow the instructions of acharyas, to follow the instructions of authority, what you need is Shamo and Damo. So we have to force ourselves in following. By following, we will come to goodness. And there's a saying in English, make the best when there is sunshine, something like that. Make the hay when there is sunshine. So whenever you are in mode of goodness, whenever you are feeling that urge or that longing to practice Krishna consciousness, do it more and more. So make the best advantage.
One more thing, like we see with Maharaj and Krishna, they thinking more about Krishna. So they also think about Balram.
Krishna and Balram, it is written. No? Nanda Baba says Krishna and Balram. Yeah, both.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu, you said about mode of passion, the devotion mentality, that we won't be able to see the Lord if we have that devotion mentality, that I want to read, I want to chant, that kind of mentality. But sometimes it's more like, the service. You said that we should have that service attitude, that this reading or chanting we are doing for the service, as the instruction received from Srila Prabhupada. So, most of the time, if we don't take the endeavor only to do it, even though the instruction is there. Let's say if we think, how do we kind of bifurcate or differentiate between, is it me who is trying to do it, or is it that self who is trying to follow the order?
Yes, so your question is what is the difference between duty and doership? Read Bhagavad Gita. Entire Bhagavad Gita teaches again and again, again and again. If you bring to principles, Bhagavad Gita is repeating the same principles again and again. You see what Krishna speaks in 3rd chapter, speaks again in 5th chapter, 9th chapter, 7th chapter, 9th chapter. It's repeated instructions. What is Krishna trying to say? Do your duty and don't get attached to result. When you are attached to result, that is doership tendency. You want to enjoy the fruits. So nobody is saying that don't perform the activities. Because then Krishna says you cannot even survive. So performance of activities will be there, but don't get attached to the result. That is duty. When you get attached or you are desirous of the result, that is doership. There's the difference. So we have to come to the platform of duty. It's like you're told to serve prasadam. So you're serving prasadam and there's some special item which has been cooked. Rare, very tasty. It's limited. And you're serving that. And you're hungry. So your mouth will be craving for that. You will be thinking कि मेरा plate में रखना है. I have to keep for myself. So that service is also with mentality of enjoying. That is why in Jagannath Puri they eat first and then they cook. In some temples servers are fed first. So if you are fed sufficiently, then how will you serve? With the mood of giving, serving, not enjoying. So the more we are filled with Krishna consciousness, the lesser we will have doership tendency. What is doership tendency? Doership tendency is nothing but you are challenging Krishna that you may be supreme, but I am also the enjoyer. That's doership tendency. You are challenging Krishna. That is rebellious attitude. No? Krishna says that Bhoktaram Yakatapasa Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. I am the enjoyer of everything. But we are telling you are enjoyer, but I am no less. Or maybe I am a small enjoyer, but I am also enjoyer. That is doership tendency. That has to go. Krishna does not want that unnecessarily differences and problems in Vaikuntha. That's why it's called Vaikuntha. So why will he take us back? He cannot have a competitor. So we are not his competitor. We think we are his competitor. He does not take us that way. Because he knows nobody can compete with Krishna. So doership tendency is we want to enjoy separate from Krishna. The more our heart is satisfied due to practice of Krishna consciousness, the lesser we want to enjoy and the more we want to give. So duty, endeavors must. Without endeavor, how will you do? Okay, Hanuman Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I'll make a comment about the prasadam. How it is cooked, how it is offered, and how it is served, and how it is honored. That is important. When we honor prasadam, we must do it as a service to Krishna. That honoring prasad is also serving. That is important.
Thank you. Another thing regarding your question, Prabhu. There's one thing which I have personally seen. After coming in Krishna consciousness, few years of chanting, we assume that we are good devotees. We assume that we are becoming pure. And then when anarthas come, we are not able to handle it. That's why I said, you are not falling back again in modes. You are already in the modes. So remember that. We know that we are affected with illness. And we have come to hospital But Prabhupada says a spiritual hospital to purify. And others have also come. So if suppose you are going, suppose someone is there in the hospital, a general ward, and there is another patient next to you, and he is suffering this indigestion. Whatever he eats, he vomits. So then he slept for a few hours, he is now better, and you give him something to eat, and you are trying to sit on his bed, chalo, let's have some talk. Because we are bored in hospital. Then you give him something to eat, he eats, and he vomits on you. So you don't have to become angry. So when in the assembly of sadhakas, everyone is a conditioned soul, everyone is a patient. If some anarthas come, we have to learn to take it. We don't react on it. The moment you react, that means you are also having that anartha. So that will help us to develop better relationships. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.